Hong Kong came fourth in the National Games handball competition. Snooker helps to promote December's Legco election. Good evening and welcome to TVB News. The Hong Kong men's handball team finished fourth in the National Games after a 25-33 defeat in the bronze medal match, yet still achieving their best ever result in the competition's history. Dozens of home supporters dressing in red cheered passionately throughout the intense match. The first half saw both teams locked in a tight battle, though Hong Kong struggled to convert late opportunities, trailing 11-15 at halftime. Despite a determined effort, the team's defense faltered repeatedly after the break, resulting in an 8-point deficit by the final whistle. Among the spectators were Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Rosanna Law and Hong Kong National Games Coordination Office Director Yuen Tak-keung. Hong Kong Handball Association Chairman Ho Chung-ho expressed hope the team's historic performance would encourage stronger government support, particularly in training venue provision to further develop the sport. The government and several organizations have urged residents to vote in the upcoming Legislative Council elections. A number of associations have joined hands with the catering sector to offer special discounts to the community to encourage more participation at the polls.
7th of December, 記得投票.
With the Legco elections less than a month away, several government departments have stepped up their promotional efforts. Director of Immigration Benson Kwok invited world-class snooker player Ronnie O'Sullivan, who obtained Hong Kong residency under the Quality Migrant Admission Scheme, to call upon citizens to perform their civic duty. Incentives were also provided in the catering sector. The Federation of Hong Kong Beijing Organizations is planning to offer restaurant discounts to voting residents, adding that local industries should arrange a return trip for their mainland-based workers to return and cast their votes. This is Chief Secretary for Administration Eric Chan thanked various sectors for their active participation in encouraging the community to vote. Responding to concerns about the legality of using such measures to boost voter turnout, Chan stressed they are not breaking the law as long as voters are not told to vote for a specific candidate. The Chief Secretary for Administration also spoke about candidates having been assigned a campaign number even prior to the confirmation of their candidacy, calling it a convenient move that allows those participating in the elections to conduct better preparation work. Addressing the discounts issue, Barrister Albert Look said while restaurants are not breaking the law by offering the discounts without urging support for designated candidates, the catering sector should pay attention to the fine details. He reminded that even if eateries display just the names of specific candidates, a connection can be made between them and the discounts. A new ferry service connecting between West Kowloon Cultural District and Central has been put into trial operation. Public service will officially commence on Saturday. Mosinai reports.
Operated by Fortune Ferry Company Limited, the new ferry service can connect passengers between Central Pier No. 9 and West Kowloon Cultural District in 8 minutes. The service will operate from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays, while the hours will be extended to 11 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. Each adult and pet ticket costs $20, whereas the price for children, senior citizens, and passengers with disabilities is $10. To mark the opening of the new pier, the Cultural District distributed 3,000 free single-journey adult and 500 pet tickets on Monday morning. Some residents are happy about the new travel option.
I love the West Kowloon Park, but it's a bit difficult to reach. So then I usually get the bus, but then now I love a ferry. This one is going to be a very short trip.
Authorities said the ferry route can benefit the public in different ways.
It is not subject to traffic congestion because, as you know, sometimes the Western Harbour crossing could be quite congested. And the second thing is that you can enjoy the beautiful scenery of the harbour front. 8 minutes, you can enjoy the harbour view.
Starting from December 1st, the pier will be open for private vessels berthing with advanced online reservation. Momos 9, TVB News.
The standby signal number 1 is now in force and is expected to remain in effect until at least noon tomorrow. The observatory will assess the need for number 3 signal or the strong monsoon signal, depending on the intensity of Typhoon Fung-wong, as well as its distance from Hong Kong and the northeast monsoon's impact on the tropical cyclone. The occasion broke previous records by making Fung-wong the 14th tropical cyclone recorded in the city this year. The typhoon is currently situated around the southeast of Dongsha or Pratas Islands and is expected to move on a north-northwestern trajectory before reaching the north of the South China Sea. The observatory forecasts Fung-wong will reach as close as 400 kilometers within the city's territory between tomorrow night and Wednesday morning, before subsequently moving towards Taiwan. China's Ministry of Transport today announced a 1-year suspension of special port fees for U.S.-owned ships. The relief in fees applies to ships owned or operated by U.S. enterprises, organizations, and individuals. The suspension took effect at 1:01 p.m. on Monday. The ministry also announced a 1-year suspension of its probe into how the U.S. Section 301 investigation into mainland trade practices affects the security and development interests of China's shipping industry and related industrial and supply chains. Beijing has also suspended sanctions on U.S.-linked subsidiaries of South Korea's Hanwha Ocean for 1 year. These measures are in line with the consensus reached during the recent China-U.S. economic and trade talks in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And still ahead, Fung-wong lashes the Philippines with strong wind and rain. 2 of BBC's most senior executives quit after criticism of Donald Trump's soundbite edit. And a colorful solution to bring history to classrooms. Welcome back. Local authorities said one of the year's most powerful storms, Super Typhoon Fung-wong, has killed at least 4 people in the Philippines. Dan Rao has details.
More than 1 million people were evacuated before Fung-wong hit land on Sunday, unleashing fierce howling winds, heavy rain and storm swells on the most populous island of Luzon that left some sleepless throughout the night. Fung-wong was packing winds on Monday, whose speeds had dropped between 130 km per hour and 160 km per hour, but remained a typhoon. Its outer bands could dump rain in coastal areas and trigger storm surges. A mudslide buried a house to kill 2 children in the northern town of Cayapa in the province of Nueva Vizcaya. They followed 2 deaths from drowning and fallen debris. Landslides also isolated at least 4 towns in the province of Aurora where Fung-wong made landfall. Still, officials said early indications suggest the tally of dead will be minimal. The storm is the 21st this year in the Philippines, coming after Typhoon Kelmegi killed 224 last week, with 5 dead in Vietnam. Fung-wong is forecast to hit Taiwan's densely populated west coast on Wednesday, though its heaviest rain is expected along the mountainous east coast. 18 people died there in September in flooding unleashed by Super Typhoon Ragasa. Dan Rao, TVB News.
South Korea's ousted President Yoon Suk-yeol faced more criminal charges as prosecutors alleged that he flew drones over North Korea in a deliberate bid to stoke tensions and justify his plans to declare martial law. Yoon set off the most serious political crisis in South Korea's recent history when he imposed martial law on December 3, 2024, and sent troops to the National Assembly. He was later impeached and removed from office and is in jail standing trial on charges including masterminding a rebellion. Yoon and his top defense officials were charged with benefiting the enemy and committing abuse of power over their alleged drone flights. North Korea had accused Seoul of flying drones over Pyongyang to drop propaganda leaflets 3 times in October 2024. The head of the BBC and the British broadcaster's top news executive have both resigned. This amid criticism of the way the organization edited a speech by U.S. President Donald Trump. Darren Rall tells us more.
The BBC said Director General Tim Davie and News CEO Deborah Turners had both decided to leave the corporation. Britain's publicly funded national broadcaster has been criticised for editing a speech US President Donald Trump made on January 6, 2021, before protesters attacked the Capitol in Washington, D.C., cutting out a section where he said he wanted supporters to demonstrate peacefully. An internal report by a former standards advisor that was leaked to the Daily Telegraph newspaper also cited failings in the BBC's coverage of the Israel-Hamas war and transgender issues. In a letter to staff, Davies said quitting the job after 5 years is entirely his decision. He added overall the BBC is delivering well, but there have been some mistakes made, and as Director General, he has to take ultimate responsibility. Turner said the controversy about the Trump documentary has reached a stage where it is causing damage to the BBC. She said in public life, leaders need to be fully accountable, and that is why she is stepping down. US President Trump welcomed the departures, criticizing the two as very dishonest people. The 103-year-old BBC faces much scrutiny from the British public and criticism from its commercial rivals. This because of its status as a national institution funded through an annual license fee paid by all households that own a television or watch the BBC's streaming content. It is also bound by the terms of its charter to be impartial in its output. Dan Rao, TV News.
The University of Hong Kong launched a formal investigation into a published doctoral thesis suspected of containing information generated by AI. This, as the institution stressed it has given its utmost attention to the incident, citing its serious nature. The controversial paper, titled 40 Years of Fertility Transition in Hong Kong, was published by Springer Nature in an academic journal. Several of the document's hyperlinks were listed as not found, with many accusing the author for using AI to write the paper. Those involved in writing the doctoral thesis include Professor Yip-Siew Fai from the university's Social Work and Social Administration Department and PhD student Bai Yiming. HKU emphasized its concern towards the accusation, adding that the university has already launched an investigation into the matter. The institution said it will follow up on possible research-related mistakes and stress HKU's prioritization of academic integrity, while noting that strict guidelines exist for AI use in terms of research. Several of the city's universities, such as Lingnan University, have not banned their students from using the technology and allowed them to use AI chatbots such as ChatGPT and DeepSeek since the start of the 2023 school year under certain conditions. Meanwhile, Hong Kong Productivity Council Chief Technology Officer Lawrence Cheung believes the city's academic institutions should regulate AI use as soon as possible. He raised concerns that some may take advantage of the fledgling technology and exploit gray areas. A woman holding a two-way exit permit was bound over 24 months for $2,000 after using fabricated academic documents to apply for the Top Talent Pass scheme. The 32-year-old woman claimed to hold a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from Monash University in Australia when applying for the scheme in 2023. She came to Hong Kong after her application was approved, but the Australian Consulate General later confirmed that discrepancies in her visa records, which were found to belong to another individual. The Greater Bay Area International Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Summit opened today. One first-time mainland exhibitor is planning to tap into the secondary education market through this expo. Sakura Ip has more.
Each punch is delivered straight to its target. Boxing is one of the latest techniques acquired by this robot, which previously performed on stage at the renowned Chinese New Year Gala. The cost of these robots, which have advanced calculation capacity, ranges from 200,000 to 500,000 Hong Kong dollars. Its agent in Hong Kong said the brand is aiming at clients with programming ability.
The G1 robot has got such a potential for different movement and further development. And to your question, we are both at trying to approach to the local development institute, like the local universities, and also the local scientific research institute.
For this robot, scoring a penalty kick is a piece of cake. As a first-time participant at the Hong Kong Expo, the company sees secondary education as a key potential market.
The entry barrier is extremely high, so we have some courses ready for students to get started with. For example, we not only sell the hardware, we also sell the courses. When teachers got these courses, we need to train them. We need to make sure those teachers understand the course in a good way.
The Hong Kong Productivity Council hosted the Greater Bay Area International Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Summit 2025. As its opening ceremony, the government stressed its commitment to cooperating with neighboring cities.
Our country's support for Hong Kong to develop into an international innovation and technology center is reaffirmed in the 15th five-year plan just released. Hong Kong shall work closely with neighboring cities to contribute to the high-quality development of the Greater Bay Area and the country. In this connection, AI and robotics remain top of our agenda.
Running alongside the summit, the week-long AI and Robotic Fest will also showcase real-world AI application in various scenarios, such as manufacturing, retail, and so on. Sakarib, TVB News.
The Palace Museum has launched a 4-year program to educate students on Chinese history. Mosinai reports.
Do you wish to dress in a Chinese palace costume? Or are you curious about Chinese cooking at the Forbidden City? This exhibition caravan, which is part of the Hello Palace Museum program, provides students with information of 5 aspects of the Forbidden City, such as clothing, dining, and architecture through immersive learning. Designed for 4 years, the program aims to reach 160 Hong Kong and mainland schools by moving the caravan to school sites, hoping to enhance the Chinese history and cultural knowledge of 50,000 students. Speaking at the event's opening ceremony, Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism, Rosanna Law, said the program integrates art and technology, making it into a lively exhibition for young people. Apart from the immersive experience, an interactive section is also set up for students. Visitors can view and touch these 10 roof beast models, which can be found at the Forbidden City's Hall of Supreme Harmony. These VR headsets allow students to view palace turrets panoramically. Lattice windows are a traditional Chinese architectural element. Here, students can build a frame with a hammer. Mosinai, TVB News.
And that's the main news. And here's a reminder that due to our showing of the national games, tomorrow's main news will start at 9 p.m. See you then.